Welcome to this short explanation of just how to read this sports performance 4-month general training program. This would be great for starters who are just getting into strength and conditioning. It's pretty well rounded to apply to most athletic groups, not one sport specifically, but generally it can be utilized for anything. This is just going to be a quick how to read the program in terms of just a physical program, which we'll get to in a second, but also just a little general overview of what we're trying to accomplish with this program specifically, which we'll cover at the end. So to start off, we have a recovery tab, and this is just to be able to have something for people to focus on if they're needing a day of recovery or they're building this in between their workout days. And so what we have here on the left as you're looking at it is a couple foam rolling and mobility options to just get things loosened up, kind of a total body. So foam rolling specific areas, and then a couple stretches that could be really useful there. All video linked there. Below that, if you're looking for very specific soft tissue work, here is a full list of PowerPoints that give you really good ideas there. And then also a total body stretching and movement, just again to get everything moving. Over on the right side here is just some recovery energy system development. And again, this is low level kind of cardio, if you will, to focus on getting everything to calm down, get some movement, but not overtax the system. So now how to read the program in general. So we tried to color code it to make it a little easier. I know it seems overwhelming to begin with, but essentially a couple things to look at is here is just the general guide laying out the blocks. We didn't include ESD on this, so there's nothing there at the bottom. Here are some abbreviations to look at if you're not sure what those are. But what we're going to start off with is you're going to have the type of training block here, what we're focusing on, and then this section here in kind of the light purple is our warm up or our pillar prep and our movement prep. So pillar prep is meant to just get the shoulders through the core to the hips moving. And then movement prep is to just actually get your heart rate up just a little bit, but actually get moving dynamically. All the videos are linked there to try and help ensure you know what is going on for each of those exercises. Then we get over to the actual training. So this is day one, this is day two, and then this sets is week 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 for day two. So it's all there and able to put in weights and everything that you would need to there. How you read this is we like to do it in supersets because it's efficient. It can help you just get in and out as you need to, but it also is really good for maybe a low level energy system development, work capacity, because you're constantly moving. So how you would read this is you would do this main movement, in this case, banded overhead squat for 12 reps. But then right after you do that, you're going to do a set of quadruped rocking for 6 to 8 reps. Then you do your second set, go through both of those exercises again. Now you finished total body power or total body movement. Then we move down to the next superset. So here it's a little bit longer. So we start with the main movement for these reps here, and then the low effort, medium effort is just giving kind of a reps in reserve. So if it's low effort, think of it as like a warm-up type where you should have a bunch of reps over 5 reserved. Medium means you could probably do 3 or 4 more. High effort, 1 to 2 more, and max you're going to 0. Like you just don't have any more reps you could do. And so you can write in your weights there so then you can kind of compare them to make sure you're advancing over the course of those weeks. Anyway, main exercise followed by your mobility exercise in this case. So you do those two, then you move down to this main exercise, followed by this mobility exercise. And that main exercise's reps are here. And once you've gone through set 1, you go back up and start at the top to go down through set 2 and repeat. So you'll end up doing 4 exercises in a row for a set, and those sets are here for the first day. Finish that one, we move on to the rotational block, very similar to the first block. 2 exercises, 1 main one, one accessory. Here are the reps for the main one, or in this case, the seconds. Finish that, and then we have a pure superset for some of our auxiliary block at the end here. So for day one, you would just work straight down this column for day one, week one. Similar over here, day two, week two. Then you repeat back over, day one, week two, day two, week two, and work your way through. So that's the generals of how you read this and how you can utilize it to make sure you know where you are, what you're improving on, and what weights you use. Highly, highly encourage you, including the weights in there. Now the generals of this program for this starter program, if you will. We only did 2 days a week. You could utilize it in theory in season, but it also is just a good way to get a young athlete or someone who's just never really been in the weight room started without overdoing it. We will be putting together a extended version of this with a third day at some point in the future, so check that out. But we start with this anatomical adaptation, which is really focused on unilateral movements to try and identify any balances and kind of address them along the way. So you'll see a lot of single arm, single leg, alternating, one-sided, and it's really, again, to address those imbalances. This isn't meant to be a super heavy lifting. It's meant to be focusing on movement, get things going, and set ourselves a base for moving into our next general preparation block. Again, now we get a little bit more intense, a little heavier, try and build up a little bit more capacity, but still trying to address potentially some of those issues that we might not have totally gotten to in the first block from side to side. We're trying to not completely balance you out, but at least make it so your body's got the capacity to do what it needs to do. From there, we move into a strength component where we're really focusing on building up some strength through everything, trying to get, in general, just stronger, set a base for it to be able to build the rest of our capacity off of. So you'll notice lower reps, a little bit more intensity with that, and we really want to focus on continuing to advance that forward. Hypertrophy, higher reps, really focusing on trying to build on some size, good size with this. And again, just trying to build the robustness of the athlete. So again, you'll see a little bit higher intent or higher reps, some a little more volume, maybe a little less on the intensity, but the goal of being really focused on trying to improve the overall capacity of the athlete. So that's how you can read this and kind of the generals of this performance example. If you have questions, don't feel like you can't reach out to us, info@clinicallypress.org, or on our social medias. We'd be happy to collaborate with you and talk through anything. But thanks for checking it out, and let us know if you have any questions.